Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hetal.
I'm Anuja, and guess what we're making today? We're making some chocolate souffles. Yummy.
Sounds so fancy.
But it's actually very simple.
Yep.
Step-by-step recipe, and if you do it the right way, piece of cake, literally.
Yep. So let's get started.
Over here we have a 1/4 cup ramekins. This is what they look like. They are oven proof, so very important to make sure you use containers that are oven proof. And we're going to just butter it. Okay, we're going to butter the ramekin, and it is ultimately best to use your fingers. That way you make sure you get every curve and right to the edge. You can't skimp on the butter over here. And then we're going to add in some sugar and just coat all the edges of the ramekin with the sugar. Like we do for cakes, we do it with flour. We're going to do it with sugar now. And then I'm just going to dump into the next one and keep buttering and keep sugaring all of them.
So before we got started, we have our oven preheating at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to make sure your oven is ready to go. So for our chocolate souffle, we're using bittersweet chocolate, which is about 60% cocoa. Now, you can use semi-sweet if you like. It just depends on how intense chocolate flavor you want. So either bittersweet or semi-sweet will work. And we're going to use about 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. And this is about 4 ounces. So what we're going to do with the chocolate is we have a pot of water heating up right now, and it's just got a little bit of water at the very bottom, and it's simmering at a very low heat. So we're going to use a double boiler method and melt this chocolate. So the water is simmering, and we're going to put another bowl with our chocolate over the top and leave it there for about a minute, and the chocolate should start melting, and then we'll use a whisk or a spatula to melt it completely. This should take only a few minutes. We want a nice smooth chocolate sauce. We'll switch off the stove and remove the chocolate.
So while the chocolate sauce is cooling down, we're going to work on the rest of it.
So we have 3 eggs here, 3 large eggs at room temperature, and we're going to just separate the whites from the yellow. You want to be careful and make sure none of the yellow get into the whites because they won't fluff. Just pass it back and forth and all the whites will drop out. And we'll put the yellow in a separate bowl.
So the eggs are separated, the whites and the yellows, and we've both got our whisks in our hands, and we're going to start fluffing. So the egg yolks have turned a pale yellow, if you can see.
The whites are nice and fluffy. They're not peaks yet, but it's just a nice fluffy mixture.
And to the yolks, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
So to the fluffy egg whites, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Now, cream of tartar is one of those ingredients that really helps egg whites to keep the lift. You know, a lot of times we fluff the egg whites and they fall flat, but the cream of tartar really helps that. So it's a worthwhile ingredient to get. And just a pinch of salt. And now I'm going to keep fluffing this more until it becomes soft peaks.
And I'm going to keep whisking it till everything incorporates well over here.
Okay, so the egg whites are forming like a nice soft peaks. And we're ready for 4 tablespoons of sugar.
We're going to add it in slowly and keep whisking.
And we're going to keep whisking until it forms stiff peaks.
So the egg yolks and the sugar and the vanilla extract have incorporated well. To this, we're going to add in the cool down chocolate sauce, and make sure it's cooled down because you don't want to make it into a chocolate scramble over here. So we're now going to fold in the chocolate. So here's the egg whites. So we're going to put 1/4 of the egg whites into the chocolate mixture and mix it in.
So we're not being very gentle at this point because all we're doing is just lightening the mixture and getting it ready to actually fold in the rest of the egg whites.
And we're going to put in the balance of the egg whites.
And here is where we need to be gentle. Now we're actually going to fold it, so scoop it from the sides and the bottom and fold it over the top. And you can also turn the bowl while you're doing this. And keep folding until all the streaks are gone.
And the ramekins are prepared and ready, and all we have to do is take the batter and pour it in.
Now you want to make sure you don't fill it all the way to the top, so as long as you get to about 3/4 of the way.
And you want to make sure you clean up the sides, otherwise they will not fluff. And we're going to fill up the rest of them. So our oven is ready, our ramekins are filled, and we've got a tray over here, baking sheet, a tray or a sheet, and we're going to bake them on the sheet. Now our rack in the oven is 3/4 of the way down, so lower to, closer to the bottom of the oven than to the top, and they're going to go into the oven for about 8 minutes or so, but everybody's ovens are different, so keep an eye on it.
So this recipe makes about 8 to 9 quarter cup size servings, like so. And these are this is one of the recipes that needs to be baked and served immediately. And right now,
yes,
it's only 2 of us here, so we're baking only 2, and we're going to wrap the others and keep them in the fridge until we're ready to use them. They stay good for at least about 2 to 3 hours.
So look at that. How fantastic does that look?
Now, it was a lot higher, but we were busy taking a picture. So it's kind of gone down a little bit, but that just shows you that this is one of those desserts where you bake it and you better make sure all the people you're serving it to are lined up and ready to go.
Absolutely. So I think the only thing now we have to do is dig in.
Yep.
And we can't share this one, so we're going to have our own. So let's just take a scoop and see what the insides look like. Oh wow,
It's nice and fluffy.
Oh,
and it's got a nice little gentle crust on the top.
I know. Wow, I can't put it back, right? Chocolate, goodness, chocolate souffle.
Chocolate heaven. I have to take another bite because it's just so darn good. Oh my god. If you want a dessert to impress somebody, maybe on Valentine's Day or a special birthday, this would be it. So I know a lot of us are watching our calories and watching our weight and whatnot, but this is one of those desserts, if you look at the ingredients, there's very little sugar, 6 tablespoons of sugar for almost 9 servings, so that's like less than a tablespoon each. And there's no butter, there's no fat, everything else is just egg, which is protein. So
that's one way to look at it.
Yeah, you look at it as a guilt-free dessert.
Who said desserts are bad for you? I don't know.
You'll enjoy it twice as much.
So if you like this recipe and you'd like to see more from us, please remember to subscribe and tell all your family and friends all about our website.
And enjoy this yummy, yummy, yummy chocolate souffle, and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding tons of sweetness to your life.